right, we are heading out right now. Don't know what this vlog is going to be about, or what. Well, I kind of know what I'm doing. I'm going to help my friend install a bumper back onto his truck that was wrapped by someone other than me because he didn't trust me. Now, he also didn't trust the color matching, so he just wanted a company to do. Either way, we're going to help him out. We're obviously taking the Tesla. Tesla earnings were today, so maybe I'll talk about those, even though I was going to save it for next Tesla Talk Tuesday. Early surprise? I don't know, but let's hit the road because traffic is just getting worse and worse. Let's roll. Oh, also, I hope the mic's working because it kind of died at the end of Tesla Talk Tuesday. Sorry about that. Oh, welcome back to the Tesla, guys. Yeah, it is looking good as always. I wasn't really going to wash it because it was fairly clean. I didn't want to have to go home, but now, well, I'm going home to meet my friend, and, well, he actually grew up right down the street from me. Anyways, I'm probably going to wash my car, or at least spot wash it. It's not super dirty because I haven't done much with it since, but we're still driving around. I want it to look good for Katie's. You know how it is. You know how it is. Anyways, let's roll. Like always, let's get out of the garage. Classic. Just tons of rush hour traffic in the DMV. It's just red on red on red. All right, so I think I just figured out what to talk about, what to discuss, what to send through the ringer and really nail down the economics behind, and that is Tesla's RoboTaxi service that Elon claims is going to be deployed by next year at some point in some metro that has basically regulatory approval for fully autonomous driving without basically a driver. It will be interesting to see if this will actually pass. Obviously, it's contingent upon regulatory approval, so I am very curious to see if this comes to fruition within, I guess, the next year and a half, year and 3/4 would be the end of 2020. So it's quite the timeline. Honestly, if you watch the autonomous presentation, I think one of the biggest points that really hit home for me, at least, was that Elon had that huge checklist of like all the things that he was able to basically create. The checklist included, creating an all-electric sports car, basically an affordable mass-produced car, the Model S, then the Model X, and then an even more mass-produced, even more highly affordable car, the Model 3, and he's done all of those with a bunch of people saying you can't do it, the car will be no good, no one's going to want to buy it, and he's delivered on all of those promises, and a lot of those promises have probably exceeded expectations. Like, we wouldn't have more electric vehicles in the market without him. We wouldn't have all of this autonomous driving or semi-autonomous driving systems. We wouldn't have these systems in other cars like Mercedes, BMW, and some cars like that. We wouldn't have any of those systems right now if it weren't for Tesla pushing that. At least I don't believe we would. I think that Tesla has really forced other cars, all their competitors, to come out with electric vehicles, come out with more plug-in hybrids, come out with more hybrids, increase their MPG ratings, and all of that stuff. And so what I'm getting at is, my biggest takeaway is when Elon says he's going to do something, well, so far he's done it. And the next biggest thing I can think of is SpaceX. I mean, he can return, I don't know what they are, but like the rockets back down and land them safely in like unison, like synchronized swimmers. I mean, that is wild. That's absolutely wild. And so the fact that he's saying he's going to deploy this RoboTaxi fleet, I have no doubt in my mind, obviously assuming regulatory approval, like he obviously can't affect certain outside forces that he has no control over. So aside from regulatory approval, assuming that happens, like I have no doubt that these RoboTaxis won't be deployed. So very cool, very interesting, but let's get into the economics. Enough of me babbling, let's just get to it. All right, so sitting in traffic, we're going at a moderate 25 miles an hour on a 55 mile an hour highway. So, we're definitely keeping it under 55, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, let's get into the economics of the RoboTaxi. So I did walk through most of the calculations in yesterday's video. Finally getting off the S show of a highway. All right, so now that we're off the highway, I think it's going to be a little bit easier for me to form some cohesive thoughts about the RoboTaxi program. So as I was saying, I kind of got into the economics behind how Elon got to like the $30,000 in like revenue that a RoboTaxi could generate for you if you allowed like your Model 3, for example, to be a part of the RoboTaxi fleet. And well, I'll just go through those numbers real quick. He's estimating 16 miles an hour on average for 16 hours a day. You multiply that by 365 days. Then you multiply by 50% because only about 50% of the miles driven are actual like getting paid for miles. The rest is probably getting, you know, to or from a person without anybody in your car. So obviously you can't make money on those miles. From there, you just multiply by the 65 cents per mile. So yeah, that's how I think those are all the numbers. Anyways, basically you get to $30,000 a year with roughly 90,000 miles driven in total. So yes, wear and tear on the car, but there's an expected life of about 11 years on the car. And the reason for that is he's giving the car an estimated 1 million miles driven lifespan, which is pretty incredible. So we'll see what happens. It's obviously going to take a little while for people to start hitting 1 million miles in their Model 3s. So what's interesting about the RoboTaxi plan is if you watch the Autonomous Day, someone brought up what's to keep someone like Uber or Lyft from just like purchasing a ton of Model 3s, getting rid of paying all drivers and deploying them. So the first thing is that there is something written into the agreement, I think, when you either purchase a Model 3 or probably if you deploy your Model 3 into the RoboTaxi program, I think there is some sort of clause that says you probably can't either use it for another system in full self-driving mode, or maybe you can't be like a company. I don't know. But then an individual at the Investor Day, I assume an analyst, also asked, what's keeping someone from buying like 5 or 6 Teslas and just deploying it, right? Like if each car can make you $30,000 a year, you know, you buy 6 cars or so, you're making what, $180,000 a year just on you're making $180,000 on 6 cars, and you're not doing anything, right? The cars are just automatically out there driving around. And I don't know if the guy asked the question wrong or if Elon thought it would be silly or weird, or maybe there's a clause saying you can't have like more than like 2 or 3 cars out in the fleet. I don't know what the case is, but like there's some interesting economics there, right? Like you could essentially run your own ride-sharing program. You could generate passive income from just owning and operating a bunch of Model 3s, right? You finance them through a bank. You're still probably going to make what, $20,000 a year after paying for the car or paying for the like any minimal maintenance that there is, and probably insurance. So even at 20 grand per car, that's still a solid amount of revenue. 20 grand times 6 cars, so $120,000 a year just for doing nothing. So it seems like a great business proposition to just buy a bunch of Model 3s and deploy them in the Tesla fleet. At the same time, investing in Tesla stock, if Tesla actually gets this deployed, then however many cars are in their fleet, they're obviously going to be getting 100% of those profits, which means that their revenue generation is going to skyrocket as soon as they deploy this RoboTaxi service. So any car that's currently being leased right now, it's automatically going to go back into Tesla's hands for them to basically deploy into this RoboTaxi fleet in 1, 2, 3 years. I don't know what the shortest lease term is, but there is no option to purchase the Model 3 at the end of a lease. So if you lease it, Tesla's automatically going to get that back. They're going to put it into the RoboTaxi fleet, and then it's just going to be sheer profit. They're basically going to have the car paid for because of the lease, and then they just profit from deploying it. I mean, it's a genius business model. You're essentially having your fleet paid for by people leasing the cars. You get it back, the car's completely paid off, and then it's just all profit from there, and you don't have to share the profit with anybody because they're your own cars and there's no drivers to pay. I mean, when you think about it, like, if this is all successful and goes to plan, even if it takes 3 or 4 years and it's not, you know, by the end of 2020 or 2021 when regulation catches up, there's still so much money for Tesla to be there's just so much money that Tesla could make from the revenue from this RoboTaxi like ride-sharing service. Yeah, they might be overvalued right now, but like if you think about it from that perspective, I would be buying the dip anytime Tesla stock drops below. I mean, right now it's what, trading at like 260? I don't know what it is right now. They've released earnings. I'm in my car. I still haven't seen earnings because of all the traffic. I really want to know what the stock's at right now. I also really want to know what the earnings numbers are. So I'm not going to get into that today. I will do that next Tesla Talk Tuesday probably. The fact of the matter is, this RoboTaxi thing is huge not only for individual and like Tesla owners, but it's also huge for Tesla. Like, it's just such a huge revenue generator for them going forward that, I mean, they're no longer just like a car company selling cars, but they're also essentially an Uber or a Lyft with even less costs. So they could theoretically put even more miles on a car per year because, well, they don't have to like if I was deploying my car, right, I have to get it back at the end of the day so I can get home if it's my own car. Whereas Tesla, like, it's a company that owns the car. Like, nobody needs it at the end of the day. They just constantly deploy them and charge them, and then they have much less overhead or much less cost. Thank you, Waze. They have much lower cost to fix the cars because obviously they're manufacturing all the parts. They can fix all these cars for a fraction of the cost as any individual could. They don't have to share the profits with an individual. They get 100% of the profits. I mean, there's just so many like economies of scale working for them in this business model if it's successful that, I mean, I'm just like, if you look at Uber's valuation of $100 billion, right now Tesla's valuation is like $45 billion, I think, a $45 billion market cap at like $265 a share. So that means if their market cap doubles, it would go to around $90 billion. So that's close to the Uber $100 billion valuation. That means their stock should be trading, or would be trading at roughly a little over $500 a share. And if that's the case, I mean, buying the stock now, you can easily double your money if they're going to be competing with Uber. And then on top of that, they just have revenue from selling cars. So that's another, you know, 20, 30, 40 billion dollars. And then whatever else from there. I mean, the possibilities are just like crazy because they're going to be selling solar roof. I mean, I'm even getting away from RoboTaxi at this point. But the point is, like, RoboTaxis could be a huge revenue generator for Tesla. And people are basically paying for their cars, paying for Tesla's cars that go back to Tesla because of these Model 3 leases. So very, very interesting business model. Very curious to see how this goes long term. Sorry I've been rambling, but I think it's super interesting. And from a valuation and business or valuation and investment perspective, it makes a ton of sense. Also, if you guys are enjoying the content, please consider liking and subscribing. We'd really appreciate it. And I need wrap ideas, guys. I'm gonna do a new design. I did meet some people that are starting to get into the wrap game, and they were like, hey, if you're gonna do another crazy wrap like the one you have now, we can give you just some scraps and I can throw those on and do something else that's kind of crazy like this, just some different colors. Maybe make an actual pattern out of the scraps. Like, I don't know what to do. So if anybody has some interesting ideas that might be cheap and easy for me to do myself, I would love to hear them in the comments below. Uh-oh. I just got a warning message that says car needs service, car may not restart. That's no bueno, guys. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to do. Are you joking? We got this little red exclamation point up here. Looks like I'm parking on the grass just in case I have to get towed. Ah, goodness gracious. Jeez, this is, guys, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. I'll tell you how great my Tesla is, how much I love it. We're at 92,447 miles on the car. And I just got, oh, it just went away. No, seriously, like, no more warning sign. There's no more red exclamation point. This did happen one other time though, and I had to have the whole like driver cluster removed and changed out. But all I can say is I hope that doesn't happen right now because I don't want to get stranded. Well, so far so good. Message is gone. There's no red exclamation point. Not sure what's going on, but hopefully we're good. Anyways, let's go check out my buddy's truck. Hey, what's up? What's up, champ? Alright, not too bad. So it's wrapped in white. You can obviously see the edges right here. I don't feel as bad about my edges now that I see like professionals doing it this way. Not too bad. Ooh, I like the new wheels. Still haven't seen these. And these are new tires too. Finally, you got some tread.
I mean, it'll sit.
Boom. Not bad. Alright, the real question is, will the Tesla turn on, or did it actually break just a few minutes ago? Oh, the door handles work, so that's a good start. Performing a system check. Please wait. That's intriguing. I'm waiting. Uh-oh. I'm a little bit nervous. Does that mean we're okay if it just like goes away and says nothing else? All right, here we go. Let's see. Foot on the brake. All right, we got the enter pin to drive. Let's hope these all light up and then go away. Yeah, I think we're good. No lights, no warning lights. No red exclamation point. Guys, I think we're golden. Fortunately, we're not leaving yet, so I just want to make sure, because obviously if I had to call a tow truck, well, I would want to take care of that sooner rather than later. No message this time. Pops up right away. I think we're good. I think we're okay. I don't know what happened earlier. Very weird. Very weird. Anyways, we are going to pop by the parental's house, say hey, do a little spot cleaning on the Tesla, but I think we're actually looking pretty good. I don't have time because I am trying to watch the Caps game and it starts in like 39 minutes. Sheesh, I'll tell you what, my dad's car really needs to be washed. I mean, goodness gracious. Anyways, quick spot clean. She's really not too dirty. You see, the way I gauge that is based on, well, the chrome back here, fairly clean. And then right behind the wheels, you know, if there's a ton of dirt here, it's pretty dirty, but this isn't too bad. So I'm just gonna wipe off. The back window's got some like pollen, just do a little bit of that. Maybe, you know, get some of this stuff off. There's a little bit of dirt on here, but it's not terrible. So quick spot clean, heading off to watch the Caps, and I think that's gonna wrap it up for today. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it wasn't too much of me blabbering, but yeah, until next time, thanks for watching.